passion for radio, never wanted to do anything else.
Real Access, to me, it's always been my favourite station and I absolutely love it.
We realise that people tune in for the music, but we have to say something in between, so we might as well try and be in music.
They are really loyal listeners and they do listen to everything that you say, and as a station that's perfect for us.
It's almost like a relationship with the station. People that listen to Real Access love it. They almost feel part of it.
I think we try to create a feeling that we are all part of the same gang, and it's not like we're different to the listeners. We are all in the same gang together.
You actually get people from loads of different ranges of ages, ringing, texting, on Twitter and Facebook.
Completely go against any preconceptions you might have. The audience is wide, and yes, you do get white van man who make up an important part of the audience, but equally you also get a very high ABC1 audience, lots of accountants, lawyers, intelligent people, very warm and open and want to be a part of what you're doing.
The weirdest thing for me about the station is that we're perceived as a niche station. What's the best-selling album of all time in the UK? Queen's Greatest Hits. Why would so how do we get to be thought of as niche? It's not niche. Rock music in the UK, the rock music that we play, is not niche music. It's a part of the mainstream.
There's always been a bit of a preconception about, it's a rock station, it must all be about Harley Davidson and leathers and all the rest of it. Not really, not necessarily. People still have lives. I mean, that might be part of someone's life, but equally they might enjoy going hill walking as well, and they might like they might go camping or whatever it is. So yes, something like Harley Davidson could absolutely be a part of it, but it's not what we're all about. It's about premium brands, it's about lifestyle, it's about tapping into that little bit of disposable income. Just because you like rock music doesn't mean that you don't go shopping, and you still have to buy your groceries and things. So it's a wide mixture of advertisers, and really I think it's all about it's far more inclusive a station than many people would think.
I think Real Access does is creates a community, because the people are so passionate about the music, and particularly in Manchester in the northwest, they can't get that fix anywhere else. So they come to us and they're loyal, and that breeds a community.
It's a growing audience, and because they are so engaged, because they're sending us their playlists for what they want to hear, because they're interacting in our features, whenever they hear adverts, it goes in.
I think predominantly people might think of Real Access as a Manchester station, but when we get texts and correspondence, we find that a lot of the listeners are from further afield, so across the Pennines, all over the northwest, North Wales,
Liverpool, a lot of Liverpool.
There's a lot of people listening on the app, so it's not just people on their FM radios in cars. A lot of people all across the northwest listen, and you see that every day in texts and people saying where they're from, and that's nice to know that we're reaching a bigger audience than just Manchester.
There's always been a bit of a misconception that commercial radio doesn't attract the kind of audience that we attract, and I feel we've almost proved that wrong, because there's nowhere else they can get this music on FM, and they're going to stick with the station. They're not going to flip over to another commercial competitor. So actually, if you advertise with Real Access, then there's a very high likelihood that there'll be an engagement there because you've got a captive audience who are really involved with the station.